So if you live on Hunting or Fripp Island, you need to be in your safe place right now. This is moving. Look at how quickly that moved inland. So around Port Royal, around Parris Island, Beaufort, stretching on over toward Tornnado Island, Ladies Island. This is pushing inland very quickly, and as it moves in, there is a possible tornado rotation along that thunderstorm. There's Fripp Island right there. There's Hunting Island, and this is going to continue to move inland. Here's Highway 21 back toward Beaufort, and Highway 21 continues back toward Sheldon, and this is Highway 17 in Beaufort County. So this is pushing inland very quickly through central Beaufort County on over toward places like Port Royal, Parris Island. That's over here on this part of the map, and there's downtown Beaufort. This is pushing inland around 60 miles an hour. Where is the safe place? If you're just tuning in Beaufort County, the safe place that you need to be is on the ground floor of your house, away from windows. You need to get into a small interior room, a place like a coat closet that doesn't have a window, a powder room that doesn't have a window, a laundry room, a room that's underneath the stairs. If you have a large pantry, that's a great place to go as well. You need to have the ABC News 4 weather app just to give you those watches and warnings. If you had the ABC News 4 weather app, the alarm would have sounded even if you were asleep and let you know in Beaufort County that you need to get to your safe place as this thunderstorm comes in off the Atlantic Ocean. So our tornado warning here, that's going to continue until 1:45 in the morning. So these thunderstorms moving very quickly in off the Atlantic Ocean. Here's Highway 21. There's downtown Beaufort, some of the heaviest of the rain working in around downtown Beaufort. I don't like the look of this little appendage here out over the Atlantic Ocean. That's going to continue to push on toward downtown Beaufort. So we've got Fripp Island right there, Hunting Island right there. We've got Tornnadoe Island up here. So it's going to continue to push through coastal Beaufort County and eventually end up in downtown Beaufort. So this is going to have in there, whoa, that's showing some circulation out over the Atlantic Ocean. So that's a waterspout right now. That's a waterspout headed toward Fripp Island. So like I said, Fripp Island, Hunting Island, you need to be in your safe place right now. If we can zoom in a little bit closer, Sonia, get some of these spots up here. So this is where Parris Island is back here. That's where Port Royal is. You need to be in your safe place, but I don't like the look of that out over the Atlantic Ocean at all. So this is likely a waterspout that's occurring out over the Atlantic Ocean, which is about to push on to southern Fripp Island there. So if you're on Fripp Island, please be in your safe place now, away from windows. Wait until we give you the all clear. If you head into your safe place, you crank up the volume on your TV, then you should be able to hear us. Hopefully your power doesn't go out. If your power does go out, you can watch us on abcnews4.com online. So we want to keep you abreast of what's going on. There is Port Royal, there's Laurel Bay, there's downtown Beaufort. So Highway 170, this is Okatee Highway as it heads out of town. There's Fripp Landing a little bit farther inland. Port Royal, Beaufort, you're looking at this thunderstorm heading in your direction. Around Frogmore, this is Highway 21 that goes out to Hunting Island and then on to Fripp Island. And these storms are moving very quickly inland. We'll continue to watch this tornado warning as it pushes through Beaufort County. Are you hearing anything on chat, Sonia?
Let's see. A strong circulation associated with the suspected waterspout off of Fripp Island, South Carolina. Tornado warning in effect until 1:45. It appears the waterspout will track onshore around the south end of Fripp Island near Land's End in the next 3 to 5 minutes. Previous waterspouts that have tracked onshore featured a tightening circulation. This storm has a history of a strong mesocyclone.
So, and that's what we were watching just a few minutes ago, that circulation that's out over the Atlantic Ocean. So that's going to impact places like Port Royal and Beaufort. It's really out at the tip of Fripp Island right now, moving onshore as we speak. So Fripp Island, you certainly want to be in your safe place. Here it is, right in this area right here. So there's our tornado warning. It goes all the way from the coast inland to Beaufort and continuing farther inland near the Marine Corps Air Station, which is along Highway 21, even back to Highway 17. That's where Highway 17 meets Highway 21, and you head out toward Beaufort there, right around Sheldon, Briars, Seabrook. So these places are a little bit farther inland. Right now it's from Beaufort out toward the coast that we're really focusing on. That circulation that we were seeing was right here, and there it is, right near the southern tip of Fripp Island as that pushes inland. So let's go ahead and zoom in, get a few of those roads out on Fripp Island, because those will show up if we zoom in a little closer. There's Land's End, there's Longwood. It's moving in your direction. Out toward the ocean a little bit more there, Sonia, right here. So in this area, right in here. So this is the tip of Fripp Island right there. So roads not really showing up out there, but there are roads out there. Just make sure that you're in your safe place on Fripp Island. There's Land's End, and once you get inland from Land's End, there's Port Royal. Parris Island is right in this area, so that's where we're watching very closely. So this will continue to push inland throughout Beaufort County. Our warning goes until 1:45. We're sitting at 1:09. So this is going to last for a while, because this one they actually picked up and we were watching it well before it came on shore. They picked up the circulation with that as it was out over the Atlantic Ocean. So that's what we're going to watch. We can watch these storms out over the Atlantic Ocean. Sometimes it's hard to pick up the rotation in these thunderstorms. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to see. This one was a little bit easier to see out over the ocean, which probably is indicative of a tornado actually with this thunderstorm. So the strong gusty winds, certainly a possibility. Wind gusts up over 70 miles an hour will be a possibility. That can cause damage, so we're probably going to get some tree damage here, and that could cause some power outages. As Sonia said a few minutes ago with our last severe our tornado warning.
Wow.
Look at that, and I'm surprised it's still out over the ocean. So I think maybe the radar's a little bit slow to update here,
Yeah,
but
it seems that way.
Fripp Island, you just really need to be in your safe place, because that's certainly a waterspout that could be moving onshore as we speak. Trying to keep
So I was trying to
ahead
look
of
at
it.
some roads just on
Yeah,
Google
and we're
Maps.
trying to keep ahead of it.
Tarpon Boulevard, Seabass Drive, Bonita Drive, Wahoo Drive, Perch Drive. If any of those sound familiar, those are Pike Drive, Bluegill Road. Those are all
Certainly in that area right there, yes. We want to watch that very closely. That's going to continue to push inland. And there it is. So see how quickly that updated? So it moved inland. Now it's back around Port Royal.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Port
so
Royal.
now,
That's where Port Royal and Parris Island are. So it's on the south side of Beaufort at this point.
Longwood, Land's End. Well, really around Longwood now.
And
Yeah, Frogmore. But it's going to go. It looks like it's going to probably go right between Frogmore and Port Royal,
and that's right where
and then right toward Beaufort.
This is right where Parris Island is. So the Marines, the training base right here, boot camp right around Parris Island there. There's Port Royal, there's Beaufort. So if you're in these spots, you need to be in your safe place. There's Dawtaw Island I mentioned a little earlier, Frogmore. So yeah, it's going to continue up toward those areas. So if you're out on Fripp Island, and I told you to turn up that volume, you should be safe now. But if there's any damage, don't go out and survey it. What you need to do is call the authorities and let them come check out the damage in case any power lines are down. They can get the right authorities out there with the power companies to fix that, because you don't want to get near a live power wire. There is our severe thunderstorm pushing inland right around Port Royal, Beaufort, over toward Frogmore. So this is continuing right on through central Beaufort County. Notice they shaved off some of this warning down toward Hilton Head. So, yeah. And that's never where our concern was. We're seeing, I believe, is that an SCDOT cam, the Woods Memorial Bridge. That's the bridge that goes from Beaufort on out toward Hunting and Fripp Island. That's exactly what we're looking at right there. And look at that heavy rain. That is just torrential rain coming down right now. Wow. So very heavy, and that's
very heavy.
Right about here. So Beaufort on Highway 21 headed out toward Hunting and Fripp Island. So it's right in this very heavy rain band area, and we're watching the circulation head in that direction. So hopefully there's not a tornado, but there is a radar indicated tornado in this area. Doppler radar has found the rotation. We found the rotation, and it continues to move inland toward Port Royal, up toward Beaufort.
Yeah, it's located near Paris Island, moving north at 40, so it is slowing down some.
So that's Paris Island right in here, so it continues to move off to the north. That'll take it right toward downtown Beaufort. So those are those areas in Beaufort County that we've been talking about: Port Royal, Beaufort, Highway 21 right here. So if you're on Hunting and Fripp Island, you're all clear now. The worst of the weather has pushed inland, the rotation has pushed inland, the possible tornado has pushed inland, and it continues to move farther back toward Highway 17. So moving at 40 miles an hour now. Well, it was moving at 60 when it first came on shore.
60, and now it's down to 40. So
well, and that makes sense, because out over the ocean, there's nothing to slow it down. Once it gets over land, it starts to interact with trees and buildings and things like that, and that slows it down. So it is right around Paris Island now and continuing up toward Beaufort. You want to zoom in a little bit closer, Sonia, and maybe we can get some of the streets on here. So there's Port Royal. The streets really not popping up. So
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think we need to restart that computer. So it's.
Let's see. Let me go back. If not, I can switch over to.
So yeah, the roads really aren't showing up. I really think that computer needs restarted. It had a rough Thursday, and now it's having a rough Friday. So
all right, let's see. We'll switch over if they want to.
If you want to go over to max 2 at this point. So there we can zoom in, and not a whole lot in the way of roads showing up. Highway 21 showing up there. There's Port Royal. There's Shell Point. 281 right there, 21 right through downtown Beaufort. There's Beaufort right there. So this is headed, there's Hazel Farm. It's headed right toward downtown Beaufort, and 21 takes you out toward the islands, Hunting and Fripp Island. There's 802. Dawtaw Island just behind me. There's Dawtaw Island, Frogmore. So most of the rotation looks like it's headed toward Hazel Farm here and Beaufort, continuing to push right like this, and they said moving off to the north, so that would be off to the north from Paris Island, which is right about there. So that'll take this circulation right through downtown Beaufort. Hopefully we don't see any damage in downtown Beaufort, but if you live in downtown Beaufort, please be in your safe place right now. Turn up the volume on your TV so that you can hear our voices to give you instructions and let you know when the all clear is given. But right now it's about to move into downtown Beaufort. Some of that rotation a little bit farther out toward Paris Island, a little south of where you're at there, Sonia, is likely where we're looking at. So maybe in that area right there. Oh, there it is, right around Longwood. So
I feel like it's lagging.
It is.
It's definitely lagging.
So that's why we're trying to name some of the towns ahead of where this is, because we want to keep you out of harm's way. So around Longwood, but please be in your safe place, Port Royal, and into downtown Beaufort there. Make sure you are in your safe place. This is going to be in and out very quickly. It should be gone within about 15-20 minutes as it pushes farther inland. I'm going to grab a little sip of water here.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, so let me turn the radar off here, and let's just look at some of the areas that are being warned right now. So we know it's moved inland from there. So again, we're looking at spots, Port Royal, Hazel Farm, we mentioned Beaufort, Polk Village. Yeah, and then there's just not kind of a whole lot. And then we'll see, hopefully it won't hold together that long. Let's see, did they just push another update through? Okay. All right, so still moving north at 40. So yeah, and I mean, downtown Beaufort, that's gonna be one of the main areas that this thunderstorm moves through. Like I said, right by Port Royal. Let's see, maybe we're getting a new scan there. Let's see how everything is looking. Let me put the velocity on there. Still kind of around Longwood, but this is definitely the most impressive rotation that we have seen, I would say, this evening. So we're seeing, okay, now I'm starting to see that rotation really move right, just especially on the east side of Port Royal, heading toward downtown Beaufort right now. So it's lagging behind just a little bit. So I'd actually say that the circulation is probably right about here right now. So let me see if I can zoom in and maybe see if some more streets are going to pop up here. For some reason, just not seeing many streets popping up in this area. I don't know if we've got something set on our but yeah, 281. So basically between 281, 21, and what is that other? That's 21.
And we just got another tornado warning, Sonia, farther inland for Orangeburg County. I wonder if that's the tornado warning that we were tracking through Colleton County.
Oh.
So these are moving even farther inland. So a lot of times these thunderstorms, they form a little bit closer to the coast. Yep, it is. It's that same storm. So as it moves into Orangeburg County now, a tornado warning there. So yeah, let's go ahead and zoom out and take a look at the whole picture so folks know what we're talking about. So there is Helene now in Georgia. Look at how quickly it's moving off to the north. Now that is good news, because the quicker this moves off to the north, the quicker it gets past us. So the storm itself, the center of the storm, is not coming over to Charleston. The center of the storm will stay off to our west. Most of the tropical storm force winds will stay off to our west. We're under a tropical storm warning, and that means we are going to see tropical storm conditions within the next 12 hours. What we're going to be looking at are winds gusting over 40 miles an hour. That qualifies as tropical storm force. So that's going to be especially from Charleston south down toward the Savannah River. Now this is where the hurricane force winds are in south central Georgia, and that's going to continue to move off to the north, and I'm seeing more of a jog to the north with this storm system. It's going to jog more to the north and eventually head to the north and west. So this storm by 8 o'clock this morning is going to be up around Atlanta. So that's going to continue off to the north up toward Atlanta. What we're watching right now is that tornado warning right around Beaufort, and that tornado is pushing inland. See that feeder band? There's another feeder band back here by Jacksonville. I expect this feeder band to move up in our direction by about 4 to 6 o'clock in the morning. That'll come through about 4 to 6 in the morning and then push off to the north. Once we get to about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, this part of the storm is coming in. What's this part of the storm? Nothing, just some gusty winds. We're done with the tornado threat. We're done with the rain. We'll be getting clearer skies, and we'll see lots of sunshine later on this afternoon. We just have to get rid of this storm. So we've been watching this since it was way down in the Gulf of Mexico. Now it's here on an even plane with almost Brunswick, Georgia. Once it gets on an even plane with us, that's when we're going to see the tornado threat fading away. We're going to see these tornado watches gradually shaved off down in Florida, and that will continue to be the trend up the coast as we go through the morning. But we've got a few more rough hours to get through. And right now, we've got the tornado warning in central Beaufort County, right around downtown Beaufort. That continues until 1:45, I believe. So
yeah, and we did get the 1 a.m. update on Helene. So it is producing 88 mile per hour wind gusts in Lowndes County in Georgia. Also, let's see, a minimum pressure of 952.
So it's weakening.
Yeah. Winds are 110 miles per hour.
Yep.
Moving north-northeast at 26. So picked up a little bit of speed, which we would expect, and it's weakening. So
yes. So and I am seeing a little bit of a jog more to the north as opposed to the east. So
yeah, it's saying north-northeast.
Yeah, and I would think with the next update, maybe it's just due north.
Yeah, and then eventually a little bit northwest.
Yeah, so that's good news there.
We did get a report of a tree down Highway 15 between Edisto River and Grover.
Okay,
That's
into Colleton County.
Dorchester County.
Dorchester County, okay. And that would have been on the fringe of that tornado warning that we were watching through Charleston and, well, actually Grover's went much farther inland, so back closer to I-95.
I'm not liking that little way it's looking around Hazel. Oh, you can't see that. If we go back, well, I can, yeah, there we go. The little hook there, Hazel Farm.
So right there is where, that's where we have the tree damage?
No.
Oh, this is where
I'm
our
just saying,
rotation.
yeah, the
yes,
rotation
yes.
is, yeah.
So that continues to move through central Beaufort County. There is downtown Beaufort. If you're in downtown Beaufort, make sure you're in your safe place now. Burton as well, be in your safe place. Dawtaw Island, things are looking much better over toward you. So if you were in your safe place in Dawtaw Island and on over toward Frogmore, you can go ahead and come out right now. And if there is some damage in your area, please call the authorities and let them know so that they can get the electricity company out there if they need to have it, and they'll help you to figure out how to clean things up. So don't try to do it yourself, especially overnight tonight. Wait until the first daybreak and make sure any power lines are attended to by the electric company. So if your power's out, call the electric company. They'll know what to do. So right around downtown Beaufort right now.
That's where they're saying it is, yeah, and it's moving northwest at 55.
So it's sped up again. So moving very quickly from around Hazel Farm toward Beaufort and Burton. This will continue to move right along Highway 21 there. It'll head back toward the Marine Corps Air Station on Highway 21, and this is going to continue to zip right on through central Beaufort County. Eventually it's going to end up back toward Highway 17, so that'll continue to push very quickly inland right around Grays Hill. There's Laurel Bay. Laurel Bay, you should be okay. Grays Hill, this is headed in your direction, so it's moving very quickly inland through Beaufort County, pretty much right along Highway 21, maybe just off to the north of Highway 21, but moving pretty much right along Highway 21. Port Royal, things are looking a little better. Out toward Paris Island there, things are looking much better. So if you're around Paris Island, if you're in Port Royal, things are looking better. Maybe give it a few more minutes. Downtown Beaufort, you're still seeing the heavy rain, the gusty winds. Grays Hill, you're starting to see the conditions go downhill, and the heavy rain will push through. We saw some of that torrential rain coming down right along Highway 21, moving south out of Beaufort, out toward Hunting and Fripp Island. So very heavy rain accompanying these thunderstorms, and there they shaved back the tornado warning a little bit more.
Oh, they did.
And they may have even taken out downtown Beaufort. So
let's see. Well, okay.
Port Royal in the clear right now. So they have shaved.
Downtown Beaufort's like right on the edge.
So
and that's kind of where we're seeing a little bit of the rotation lingering, but it's again, it's moving so quick. It's hard to. But I've got it pulled up on Max 2.
There it is. So there's the rotation.
But again, it's hard to keep up with
downtown Beaufort. Yes,
and
it's going to move over
quickly
toward Grays Hill here very quickly, right along Highway 21 through central Beaufort County. That's going to continue to push very, very quickly inland. That tornado warning out until for about another 15 minutes.
Yeah,
so that's
they're saying until 1:45, but I'm wondering if they're going to expire early as quick as this is moving.
Yeah, and the tornado warning continues up to Highway 17, I believe.
Yep, near Sheldon.
Right there. So Bryersdale, Lebeco, Seabrook, you need to be in your safe place because it's not there yet, but it's moving inland very quickly. Grays Hill, make sure that you're in your safe space. Make sure you're ready for this storm to move through and you stay protected. There it is, moving very, very quickly. So it's out of downtown Beaufort now.
Yeah, it's definitely out of there now.
So the all clear, we'll go ahead and give that for downtown Beaufort because it has pushed through downtown Beaufort. So if you are in downtown Beaufort, the all clear is given. But what I really caution you, if there's damage in your area, do not go out and take care of it right now. Call the authorities and let them know where the damage is. they'll come survey the damage. If they need to get the power companies out there, they'll do that. But you don't want to be in contact with a live wire because that can be very, very dangerous. Our storm is moving right around Grays Hill now, right through central Beaufort County, back toward Highway 17A, right there around Sheldon. This is right in Beaufort County, so this is Colleton County right here. It's continuing to move right through central Beaufort County and really tracking right along Highway 21 back toward Highway 17. So if you're in Sheldon, I'd say take cover there too, because this storm is moving very quickly in your direction. And here's how I put it. If this storm is moving at 55 miles an hour, if it puts down a little wind gust, then that wind gust is going 56 miles an hour. So any wind gust with this thunderstorm could be moving very, very quickly, likely up over 70 miles an hour. So those 70 mile an hour wind gusts are going to do some damage. There are likely going to be branches blown down, trees blown down. If they get blown into a car or a house, that's going to cause even more damage. Power outages, certainly likely. We had a report just a little bit earlier as a thunderstorm came in off the ocean in Charleston County around Edisto Beach of about 1,000 people without power there. So these thunderstorms do have the potential to cause power outages, and that's going to continue to be the threat into the very early morning hours of our Friday. So our tornado warning in Beaufort County continues until 1:45. But we also have a tornado watch. That's for everyone. When there's a tornado watch, that means conditions are favorable anytime for a tornado to form out of one of these showers coming in off the Atlantic Ocean. The tornado watch stays in effect until 8 o'clock in the morning. That is for the entire viewing area. So here they are, those bands coming in off the Atlantic Ocean, and there are our tornado warnings. Notice there are no tornado warnings. There are no tornado warnings from the Florida line to the south. So the tornado threat is really fading south of this storm system, and that's what we're waiting for. About 7, 8 o'clock in the morning as this Hurricane Helene is up here approaching Atlanta, we'll then be on the south side of the storm. So that will minimize our tornado threat greatly. And what I'm really watching, we've got this band here out in the Atlantic Ocean. We've got this band here that's stretching from Jacksonville on back toward Tampa. We're likely going to see two bands, and one of those bands is moving through Beaufort County right now, and that'll continue to make its way farther north up through Colleton County into Charleston County, eventually Georgetown County. And then this line that's back around Jacksonville is going to do the same thing later this morning. That's probably going to be about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and that should be through by about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's just another band. Now, fortunately, this part of the storm is going to stay off to our west. This is really going to track right up I-75 through Georgia, and this is the worst part of the storm. We're going to be spared the worst part of the storm. This is where the hurricane force winds are likely. This is where the heaviest of the rain is going to occur. Our rainfall is not really going to be all that bad. About 2 to 3 inches of rain in general, with a few higher areas. So at the station on Thursday during the day, we picked up 2.05 inches of rain. So maybe another inch or two at the station, and that'll put us right in that 2 to 3, maybe a little bit more inches of rain. This isn't going to be like Debbie, where people pick up feet of rain in the low country. That is possible in places like the upstate of South Carolina, northern Georgia, western North Carolina, but not here in the low country. You have to look at your impacts possible from each storm because it's always different. And the personality of this storm, it's for us to get the feeder bands coming in off the ocean, and that's giving us the tornado threat. So the tornado threat is going to continue through about 8 o'clock in the morning. That's when our tornado watch is out until. So we've had a tornado watch, if it lasts till 8 o'clock in the morning, for 24 hours, which is a long time for a tornado watch. Normally a tornado watch is about 6 hours or so. So this is about 4 times the normal length of a tornado watch. We've still got the tornado warning right there in Georgetown County, and that thunderstorm now moving very quickly, or Beaufort County, excuse me, Beaufort County, thank you, Sonia, right along Highway 17A, or 17 in Beaufort County, and it continues to push even farther inland. So there is our thunderstorm, and it's
really heading toward the northern edge
Yes, so up towards Sheldon, right along Highway 17 here. This is 17. Coming right through here, Lebeco, right along Highway 21, and then that continues on over toward I-95 on 17. So this is the area that we're seeing the heavy rain, and there it is. So, and I would imagine this is even farther inland back toward Highway 17. So that continues to push even farther inland very quickly, right around Seabrook, Lebeco, Briars, Sheldon. You need to be in your safe place. So I know we had Grays Hill earlier. Grays Hill, you're safe to come out of your hiding spot right now, and hopefully you don't have any damage. So tree damage is likely even with the gusty winds of this storm system. So it continues to move inland. There's Highway 17 right there. Not seeing a ton of rotation like we were seeing earlier, and we've been watching this since it was offshore. Even before we looked at the rotation, we could see that out over the Atlantic Ocean with those strong thunderstorms. So we are looking at those thunderstorms out over the ocean.
Mike died.
So we
Okay.
are going to be looking at that heavy rain continuing to push a little bit farther inland. Sonia, you got more?
All right, so now they're saying it's located over, the storm capable of producing a tornado located over Sheldon, and it's moving northwest at 60, so it's picking up more speed again.
So, and we're going to...
So, and also, Savannah, a 75 mile per hour wind gust.